Li Jang's journey is a masterclass in navigating the treacherous waters of global stardom. When his Chinese bandmates left EXO amidst bitter lawsuits against their agency, SM Entertainment, he chose to stay. Was it loyalty or a calculated strategy? This decision set him on a unique path, leading to an unprecedented deal that granted him personal freedom while still under the K-pop machine's umbrella. His story is a compelling look at ambition, identity, and the price of fame in one of the world's most demanding industries. For more deep dives into the stories that shape the music world, make sure to subscribe to the channel. In 2012, the world of K-pop was buzzing with the arrival of a new supergroup, EXO. The concept was ambitious and built for global domination. The group was split into two halves: EXO-K to conquer the Korean market, and EXO-M to capture the massive audience in China. At the heart of this Mandarin language unit was a young man from Changsha named Zhang, who the world would come to know as Lei. He was presented as a core piece of SM Entertainment's grand strategy, a bridge between two cultures, and a performer with a quiet intensity that drew people in. His 10-year contract was standard for the industry, a long-term commitment that promised a future of stardom in exchange for years of grueling work. In those early days, the promise seemed boundless. EXO's debut was a massive success, and their popularity skyrocketed at a speed that was breathtaking even for the fast-paced K-pop industry. They were everywhere. Their songs dominated the charts, and their faces were on countless products. Lei, along with his fellow members, was catapulted into the stratosphere of fame, becoming a household name in both South Korea and his native China. He was living the dream that thousands of trainees back in the agency's practice rooms prayed for every night. But the glittering facade of unity began to crack in 2014. The first tremor came when Chris Wu, the leader of EXO-M, abruptly filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment and left the group. The news sent shockwaves through the fandom and the industry. He cited unfair contract terms, a disregard for his health, and a lack of freedom. It was a messy, public divorce that challenged the carefully crafted image of the perfect idol group. Just a few months later, a second tremor hit. Luhan, another immensely popular Chinese member, followed suit, filing his own lawsuit with similar complaints. The dream of conquering China with a full team was crumbling. The pressure now fell squarely on the remaining members, especially Lei and Tao, the last two Chinese members of EXO-M. The group dynamic was irrevocably altered, and the narrative of a unified 12-member group was shattered. The following year, 2015, the final piece of the original EXO-M lineup broke away. Tao also filed a lawsuit to terminate his contract, leaving Lei as the sole remaining Chinese member of EXO. The situation was unprecedented. 3 members from the same country had left the same group in a little over a year, all citing fundamental problems with the agency's management. A cloud of controversy and speculation hung over Lei. He was in an incredibly difficult position. To some, his decision to stay was a mark of profound loyalty to his bandmates and the fans who had supported them from the beginning. To others, particularly those who sympathized with the departed members, his continued presence under the SM banner was puzzling, even suspect. He was walking a tightrope, balancing the expectations of a Korean entertainment agency, the sentiments of a global fan base, and the complex political and cultural landscape of his home country. Every move he made was scrutinized, every public statement analyzed for hidden meaning. The question on everyone's mind was not if, but when he would be the next to leave. It was in this climate of tension and uncertainty that SM Entertainment made a move that was nothing short of revolutionary for the K-pop industry. In 2015, the agency announced that it would be establishing a personal studio, or workshop, for Lei in China. This was an unheard of arrangement. The standard K-pop model was built on absolute control. The agency dictated everything from an idol's musical direction to their public appearances and personal life. Granting a member their own studio to independently manage their activities was a radical departure from this norm. It was a clear and strategic decision to prevent the loss of their last remaining Chinese star. The workshop model was a brilliant compromise. It allowed Lei to pursue his own projects in China, to build his own brand, and to have a level of autonomy that his former bandmates had to sue to even attempt to get. He could now star in Chinese films and dramas, release solo music for his Chinese fans, and engage in activities that were entirely his own, all while officially remaining a member of EXO. This landmark decision was a tacit acknowledgement by SM Entertainment that their old methods were no longer sufficient for managing top-tier foreign talent, especially those with a massive market waiting for them back home. It was a way to keep Lei within the fold, to continue benefiting from his immense popularity, and to maintain a crucial link to the lucrative Chinese entertainment industry. For Lei, it was a golden opportunity. He was no longer just a member of a group. He was an artist with his own enterprise, backed by the resources of a major agency, but with the freedom to steer his own ship in his home territory. This unique arrangement effectively diffused the immediate crisis and set a new precedent for how K-pop could handle its international stars. It transformed Lei's story from one of potential departure and conflict into one of empowerment and pioneering a new path, setting the stage for a career that would straddle two worlds in a way no one had ever done before. Armed with the unprecedented freedom of his own workshop, Li Jang wasted no time. The period following the landmark agreement was a whirlwind of activity that saw him transform from a K-pop idol into a bona fide Chinese superstar. He dove headfirst into the mainland entertainment industry, unleashing a torrent of creative work. He released solo albums that topped charts and showcased his own musical identity, distinct from the sound of EXO. He took on leading roles in major television dramas and blockbuster films, proving his mettle as a serious actor. He became a fixture on popular variety shows, where his wit and charm won over millions of new fans who may have only vaguely known him as a member of a Korean group. His schedule was relentless, his ambition seemingly limitless. In China, he was no longer just Lei from EXO. He was Li Jang, a powerhouse entertainer building his own empire. This explosive solo success, however, came at a cost to his role in South Korea. The logistics of being a superstar in two countries at once proved to be an impossible puzzle. As his commitments in China grew, his participation in EXO's group activities began to dwindle. Fans grew accustomed to seeing promotional photos with an empty space where he should have been. He missed press conferences, music show performances, and eventually entire album promotion cycles. Each absence sparked a fresh wave of debate within the vast EXO fandom. Some fans were deeply understanding, celebrating his success in China as a victory for the entire group. They argued that his unique contract was the only thing keeping him connected to EXO at all. Others felt a growing sense of frustration and abandonment, longing for the days when the group felt whole. Lei himself often expressed his love for his members and his regret at not being able to be with them, caught in a balancing act that was both a blessing and a burden. He was a member in spirit and name, but his physical presence became an increasingly rare and precious commodity. Adding another layer of complexity to his tightrope walk was the political landscape. Being a prominent celebrity in mainland China comes with a set of unwritten rules, and navigating them is crucial for survival. Lei, like all Chinese stars, faced immense pressure to publicly align with the government's political stances, most notably the One China policy. During times of heightened international tension, his social media would feature posts affirming this position, actions seen as a necessary pledge of allegiance for anyone wanting to maintain a career in the country. This placed him in a difficult spot. For his massive Chinese fanbase, it was a welcome and expected display of patriotism. But for some international audiences, these political statements were a source of friction and controversy. He was trying to serve two masters, the demands of his career in his home country, and the expectations of a global fan base that spanned different cultures and political beliefs. It was a no-win situation that highlighted the unique pressures faced by foreign idols, especially those whose home countries have complex relationships with the rest of the world. As the years passed, the inevitable question of his contract loomed larger. His original 10-year agreement with SM Entertainment was drawing to a close. Given his immense success as a solo artist and the physical distance that had grown between him and EXO's activities, few expected him to renew in the traditional sense. The only question was how it would end. Would it be another messy public fallout like the ones that had marked the exits of his former bandmates, filled with accusations and lawsuits? Or would the workshop model prove its ultimate worth by providing a path for a peaceful separation? The answer came on a deeply symbolic day in April 2022, the 10th anniversary of EXO's debut. Instead of a press release from his lawyers, Lei posted a handwritten letter in both Korean and English. It was a heartfelt message of gratitude and reflection. He thanked SM Entertainment for the decade of support. He expressed his unending love for his fellow EXO members and thanked the fans who had walked with him on his journey. It was not a bitter farewell, but a fond goodbye to one chapter of his life as he fully embraced the next. He made it clear that this was not a severing of ties, promising that he would always be there for his members when they needed him. The departure was as graceful and diplomatic as the career he had managed for the past 7 years. There were no public disputes, no drama, just respect and affection. This amicable split stood in stark contrast to the painful exits of Chris, Luhan, and Tao, and served as the ultimate proof that the workshop strategy, while unconventional, had been a resounding success. It had allowed an artist to grow beyond the confines of the company, and in doing so, preserved a relationship that could have otherwise ended in acrimony. It underscored a quiet preference for resolving conflict behind the scenes, a trait he had demonstrated before when a contract issue with a Chinese production company was settled quickly and privately out of court. He had navigated the treacherous waters of the industry and emerged not just successful, but with his relationships and reputation intact. An actor's filmography can often read like a secret diary, a map of their inner world where the characters they choose to play echo the chapters of their own life. For Li Jang, this parallel is exceptionally clear. His journey on screen has been a striking reflection of his real-world evolution, from a determined young artist striving to make his mark, to a savvy survivor navigating a perilous landscape, and finally, to a powerful architect of his own future. His roles have not just been jobs, they have been extensions of his identity, offering a window into the challenges and triumphs that defined his path from a K-pop idol to a titan of the Chinese entertainment industry. In his early forays into acting, Lei consistently gravitated towards characters that embodied sincerity and relentless hard work. These roles were perfect mirrors of his own public image as a dedicated performer who had endured years of intense training in a foreign country to achieve his dream. In the popular drama To Be a Better Man, he played a young aspiring chef, earnest and eager, learning at the feet of a seasoned master. It was impossible not to see the parallel to his own life as a trainee at SM Entertainment, honing his craft under the watchful eyes of industry veterans. He embodied the role of the diligent apprentice, a character arc he knew by heart because he had lived it. Similarly, in the movie X-Files 2, The Backup Strikes Back, he portrayed a sweet, hard-working colleague, further cementing this on-screen persona of a humble and ambitious young man. However, the most profound reflection of his early career came with his breakout acting role as Yue Hong in the critically acclaimed 2016 drama The Mystic Nine. Yue Hong was a complex character, a gentle opera singer and tomb raider, defined by his profound sense of loyalty and a deep, unwavering love for his ailing wife. He was a man of quiet strength and immense devotion, willing to endure any hardship for the person he held dear. At the time the drama aired, Lei was in the midst of a real-life test of loyalty. He was the sole remaining Chinese member of EXO, navigating the fallout from his bandmates' departures. His decision to stay with the group was a constant topic of discussion, and he was often praised for his steadfastness. Playing Yue Hong allowed him to channel this real-world narrative into his art. The character's unwavering commitment was a cinematic echo of Lei's own public stance. The quiet suffering and profound loyalty of Yue Hong became inextricably linked with Li Jang the artist, creating a powerful synergy between his real life and his real life that resonated deeply with audiences. It was the ultimate expression of the man he was seen to be at that moment in time, loyal to a fault and dedicated to his commitments, no matter the personal cost. As his career matured and he began navigating the intricate politics of being a top star in China, his choice of roles evolved. They became darker, more complex, and far more dangerous, mirroring the increasingly high-stakes environment he had to master off-screen. This new phase was perfectly encapsulated by his role as the programmer Pan Sheng in the 2023 blockbuster crime thriller No More Bets. In the film, Pan Sheng is a brilliant but naive programmer who is lured to an overseas tech company with the promise of a lucrative job. The dream quickly turns into a nightmare when he realizes he's been trapped by a brutal, sophisticated online gambling syndicate. He is held captive, beaten, and forced to use his programming skills for their criminal enterprise. The film is a harrowing tale of survival, where intelligence and willpower are the only weapons against overwhelming force. The parallels to the entertainment industry are impossible to ignore. The initial lure of fame and fortune, the glittering promise that can mask a darker reality of exploitation and control, is a story many artists know well. Pan Sheng's struggle for freedom within a high-tech prison serves as a potent metaphor for Lei's own journey. He too had to navigate a complex and often perilous system, balancing the demands of a powerful agency, the political expectations of his home country, and the desires of a global audience. He had to be smarter, more strategic, and more resilient than the forces around him to not only survive, but thrive. Pan Sheng's journey from a terrified victim to a clever survivor who ultimately helps bring down the whole operation reflects Lei's own successful navigation of his career. He didn't just escape his initial contract, he outmaneuvered the system, establishing his own studio and securing his independence on his own terms. The role showed a new side of him, one forged in fire, showcasing a grit and cunning that had been developed through years of real-world experience in a notoriously tough industry. The final and most compelling role Lei has taken on is one he has not played on screen, but is living every day. The role of a founder and visionary. In 2020, he established his own entertainment company, Chromosome Entertainment Group. This move marked the ultimate culmination of his journey. He had completed the full circle, transforming from a young trainee hoping for a chance, to a global idol, to an independent artist, and finally, to a CEO in the position to grant those same chances to a new generation of aspiring performers. He is no longer just a product of the system. He is now an architect of it. This off-screen evolution represents a level of empowerment and control that is the true endgame for any artist. He has taken all the lessons he learned from his time as an apprentice and a survivor, and is now building his own universe on his own terms. This new reality has yet to be fully reflected in his filmography. He has not yet played the powerful, commanding CEO or the industry mogul who shapes the world around him. But that seems to be the inevitable next step. His life has become the script. As he continues to build his company and mentor new talent, he is embodying a narrative of leadership and self-determination that is more powerful than any fictional story. It is only a matter of time before the roles he chooses begin to mirror this new identity. We will likely see him transition into characters who are mentors, leaders, and masters of their own destiny. bringing his on-screen persona into perfect alignment with his real-life status. His filmography will then tell the complete story, the tale of the earnest striver who became a savvy survivor, and ultimately the visionary who built his own kingdom. From the loyal idol who stayed to the savvy entrepreneur who built his own empire, Li Jang crafted a legacy on his own terms. His story is more than just a tale of K-pop. It's a blueprint for turning industry pressure into personal power. He navigated political minefields and corporate expectations to achieve a graceful exit that his peers could only dream of, proving that the quietest moves are often the most revolutionary. His career is a testament to playing the long game. To continue exploring the journeys of artists who changed the game, don't forget to like and subscribe.